Глядишь, поможет. Пытаемся заобщаться с тетенькой.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? I'm afraid I can't say any more until we've taken care of formal protocol.
She's a negotiator. Just float a favor at her. Insinuate.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see...
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stone, or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause. It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years. Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff. Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbor into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a...
How convenient that they're stranded like beached whales at that roundabout.
Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of...
Her irises are light green, like the river Esperance in bright daylight. Upstream where it's clearer.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share...
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area... Well, here's your chance. No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have thousands of liters of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary. How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month. It's true they drove a number of the local businesses to bankruptcy preparing for this venture. I've talked to a few business owners. It was quite the shakedown. But the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for two... Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will...
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, though she's clearly not the type your typical lorryman would confide in.
The two might even be connected. Yes? Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
Пара-пара-пам. Ну что ж. Уже что-то. Уже что-то. Ну, правда, я сегодня недолго, после работы, вся фигня, куча оправданий. Окей. Я не помню, с этим Память я болтал после этого. После загрузки-то.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabiner do for you?
Драма. Ну, драмы я столько не наберу вообще никак.
There's nothing for you to understand here. It is not, absolutely not. She died of pneumonia. Reversal fair of 91, and this was the happiest day of my life. I was 20.
The IKEA operator.
I won her back.
You were like a dark cloud.
Those
days and memories.
The old soldier says nothing, but when his glance quickly runs over Gaston's face, there's an odd look in his eyes.
Officer, the mere sight of police in Martinez makes me feel sure, officer. Thank you, officer.
Ну, ёптать, шевелись. А, да, еще к этому типу заходил вроде. Сразу зайти. Бегом давай. Тара-тара-та.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Of course. It's in working order still, isn't it? Traffic? I'm sorry, officer, but I just don't like... Now that I think about it, I do remember hearing a thunderous noise the other night. Some kind of power...
He shakes his head, slowly.
Куча всяких вещей, которых я непонятно для чего купил. Непонятно, куда их девать. Тут, по-моему, старушка сидела. И съеблась. Тут не пройти, тут стенья. Китаец, ты водитель?
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Ну, блять, тут эмпатия нужна. Но мне даже полностью прокачанной эмпатии не
Still
хватило.
here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
Эмпатия, хуй.
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own conscience, but those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now.
Just be straight with him.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo, and it gives me time to work on my rhymes.
A rhymesmith? This is quite credible. It goes with its cadence and way of speaking.
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
Ух ты, концептуализация. Секундочку. А, у меня две одинаковых рубашки. Белая атласная сорочка. А, это вот так было. Концептуализация, мать его, на максимум. Давить? Давить, 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 давить. Да, ведь.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man.
И все равно не 100%.
What's up?
Круто.
Wait, there's something here, stored away in some dusty corner. It starts like...
Whoa. What else? Silent communion. That's good. Dang, that's some great shit. You came up with that yourself.
Нихуя, блядь.
No matter. Great verses like that sometimes. Ephemeral. You might not look it. Seems you have some literary chops. Just messing with you. It's cool. You're an okay guy. For a cop. They're more often in the fists than rhymes, see? Let alone honesty in verse. Well, you've given me some hope, I guess.
You found some common ground with this man. Even impressed him. The next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words.
Nope. Don't smoke. Some of the other drivers do, though.
Hey, isn't he like smoking right now? The smell is in the air.
Okay. But this is my last one. And it's a bad habit. You should quit before both of us have lung cancer.
Понятно, нихуя не понятно, ладно. Но пойдет. 50 опыта, здравствуйте. Где они? Угу. Понятно. Так, а там проход был или не было? По-моему, был. Я же, как обычно, невнимательно играю. И бутылок, а бутылки... Точно, тут же можно было, блядь, сделать интересные вещи.
An old monument stands in the middle of the track,
Извините.
pointing toward the sea.
Да.
It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air
А как я
with the aid
энциклопедию-то
of
раньше...
numerous ropes and rods.
Так, на всякий пожарный. Сразу энциклопедию, блядь, в максимум воткнуть. То знаю эти проценты, блядь. Но, видимо... Память, правда, у меня не очень. Нормально. Это максимум, который я могу сейчас дать.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic light, even by the standards of the Philippian kings. Old sumptuous... Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy. On the Insulindian Isola, stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, he called it the Sol Auron. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge
Что-то уж до
pile
боли
of gold
знакомое.
feathers, like some obese dragon, instead of a
И
bed,
ёршики.
like a normal person. But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction. You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry, he was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy, cocaine. That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later, right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by the revolutionaries. The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships. During the turn of the most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it. Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber, floating on a sea of shit. People in Martinaise tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social. Those critics might have it wrong though. There's more to it than just ironism, but you can't say what precisely. Perhaps this Philip III, the squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi, not that he ever did in life either.
Миленько. Вот оно где сидит.
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays.
Where am I? Who are you? Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s. The men have small jaws and everything is made out of plastic. Why do you need plastic when you can make the world out of amber? Back in Mecca, during the time of the revolution, the sidewalks and cafes are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero until you came along, that is. This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and
he was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen, and schoolboys used to memorize all of his lines.
In all likelihood, it's a world that's only ever existed in her mind.
Someone was. They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not? They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. And they will win.
They're coming for this, you know? All of this. I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the mine behind the Black Sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters, while you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little
The Republic of Mesk is a massive confederation on the Isola of Muindi, the world's largest state by territory. It's a petro-state, a constitutional monarchy, and, as of recent...
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole. Diamonds? Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was? Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean. Then it's contraband, Loman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me...
Bad hand. Hermenegildos' bad hand strangled 300 people. What can I say? Some people just really like strangling people.
Of course not. To truly understand the Boyadero, you need to listen to...
The Boyadero, Boya for short, is a cowherder from upstream Magritte, the great steppes of northern Mesk. He is a rugged individualist and explorer.
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring boyadero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain. Of course not. The boyadero returns from the Western Plain a changed man. One night, as he and his beloved are out walking along the river Maigret, she pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down. So the boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Magritte. Then he rides off, because the Western Plain is calling to him. You have to understand. A true boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can't be tied down by man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a boyadero. What do you mean? Yes? What about it? A pale dream is what it is. What do I need drugs for, Loman? What I see, what I feel. The great adversary, no drugs can compare. Yes, there is a protagonista and an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hole.
Those epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary, the great unrest.
If you don't know,
Ух ты, какой вопрос.
why would I want to do that? Loman, what in the name of God are you talking about? Maybe, Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramirizat to Grat, on the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramirizat to Grat? It's diamonds, Lowman, obviously. Diamonds are good for you, Lowman. You should try them sometime. Make yourself pretty like Eva de Zoras. Easy. He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors on the earth. I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains. Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesk.
Ну, блядь. А я думаю, что старушка это ты. Хуяришь наркоту. Вроде никуда тут больше не пролезть. Машинку не осмотреть. Вроде тоже ловить неху.
A lorry stuck in the traffic. The windows are clear. Fumes of heavy fuel oil waft over you, making your eyes sting. The odor mixed. The back, a book with red. The drive, a large metal. It is the seal of Royalist era Revachol.
С того пацаном болтали.
Right to work!
When a bunch of beats me.
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. His shirt is far too small and unpleasant. He ignored. Silence is the answer. You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him.
What's it to you? No, don't think we've met before. I came to help out the people. We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer. Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell? We're done here. I have a strike.
Почему-то пишется 0, но не 0. Ты пойми. Так. Ты-то не водитель?
Looking for something? Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body. You know where that shit comes from? Saramirizat, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our look. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight. So they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage. Racial economic sabotage.
He eyes you warily, unsure how to respond.
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
If they were getting drunk inside the whirling in rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that it's the kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not rotor science, man. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well. Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he's just some simple businessman or some shit? He's selling his employer stuff after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, alright? 100 guess so? No.
Вот ты сучка такая.
It's not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head on the... People who've studied these things say that we are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that. So, lately we Occidentals have experienced an unfortunate downturn when members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority. They stop competing for resources. This concerns you, policeman, so you better be vigilant. The Kips are showing a good...
Cultural victory? What is this then?
It's what the Kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons lately? Heard any motetos or leader? It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control the offspring.
Хуя у тебя акцент, блядь.
Go right ahead. You...
No, nothing. You're sure it's okay? You wriggled your way out of a tight one there. Didn't tell him to fuck off, or join his cause. Well done.
Это что, сарказм был? Вот это мне интересно. Можно было бы согласиться, и, возможно, мне бы угостили сигареткой, я выполню задачку бы, но... Нахуй. Пойдем китайца дойдем. Хотя, слушай, друг.
Make way for the master poet.
Здрасте.
Everything's still cool here, officer. Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin life. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs. That's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on sale.
Sir, it appears to be true. No drugs in sight. Not in the box of sunglasses or under the speakers.
That's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But, I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street man. Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hate. No, I just said I work harder, and he's an asshole. I'm...
Ага. Ебать тебе в сраку.
Realizing he can't get out of it. Smart man.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. Exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity. Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get a crowd. You know, the...
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd.
Shush, please. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please, don't get me into this mess. I spent 50...
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
Interesting. Could this driver be connected to the Hardy Boys?
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now. I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
He's not ruling her out.
I don't know. I'm not local. I don't know anything about that. All right. Very cool. Let's cap this off with a purchase. A pair of funky sunglasses, detective. You deserve it. And I deserve it too. Don't you think?
Ничего я понял. Что? Ничего не понял. Они, короче, друг на дружку шпарят и все. Давай-ка заметку заглянем. Блять, а где оно?
Make way for the master poet. I don't want to talk about that. was hoping it isn't gonna be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is. Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. She kept her name a secret. From me too. Now a friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay? A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way. Blue and Violet. Died. It was Violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Then she may have dyed it again.
I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her. That she wouldn't.
Bah. Emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he didn't share it with you. That's a fact.
Damn, I don't want to. Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much. That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience. She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out. Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
Хуя себе.
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her. Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind. The way it worked. The trouble it was giving her. Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be...
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. The grey-haired woman. Maybe she knows something. Wait, this guy says they're friends. Then, acquaintances. And he's okay with others ratting her out.
Блять.
Fine. I don't want to be a butcher. And I don't want to be a knight either. I just want to be a person who can sleep at night. A little fame wouldn't hurt too. You're not going to put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? 'Cause she's on the edge, man. I thought you were a different kind of cop. Here.
The keys to a motor lorry. Pretty complex. Looks like a chain lock.
Her lorry's still here. Down past the statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know. Last Friday. No, I don't know. She left them to me because she trusted me. So I can get it out of the way when the jam breaks loose.
The other drivers would have to break in there to get the machines moving. And they would find what's hidden inside. Something incriminating.
I bet you are. Nah, I need to think my own thoughts now. Pray forgiveness for my sins. Go check your cabin. I hope it gets you something. Helps. Oh, look. It's the cop who turned me into a bad person.
Ну, блядь. Ну, блядь. Хуй тут скажешь, ну, блядь.
This screen found, A to Z, Contemporary, is parked in the shadow. This is the one the man pointed to. His friend's lorry. The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape. You push the key into the lock and turn. It makes a cracking sound. Then the door pops back. The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a tool. There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens. One of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy with a hint of amberette wafting through the bitter air of the cabin. The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably Grenade No. 5. The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an... This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic... She wasted away in a drug den called The Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street. A mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid the actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed. Likely by the peculiar frequency tableau indicates that at least 128 stations. It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together. Doesn't look like it. Unclear. For contacting an entire fleet of lorries, for example, this must be the nerve center of a well-organized operation. Not without the dial key, no. The smell of 1,000 cigarettes, some dead actresses, and a rusty old toolbox under the seat. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip. Matching one of the footprints found from the crime scene, which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. Looks like it, yes. You've identified the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys had anything to do with the drug trade? You should probably still talk to them, see what they've got to say for themselves. The movie stars are still smiling from the walls, but there's something strange about the passenger seat. The radio transmitter sits on the center console, and the pull-out toolbox lies hidden under the driver's seat. Voila, a stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. It's Revachol. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue. Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock. And this person there, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881, high above the massive brown and red roofs that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside to Kuron, through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates. This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, old military hospital, right adjacent to. The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of Motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers. These service tunnels were probably used during the construction of the foundation. Looks like the smugglers have infiltrated the road network belonging to East Motor Tract. The cluttered cabin of the abandoned lorry offers no reply. If only Lieutenant Kitsuragi were here to help you piece together the evidence. You stuff the maps back under the seat cover. Better not to leave traces of you being here yet. The movie stars look silently by. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper. It's an issue of Petit Férique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system. The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Looks like the peculiar frequency tab. It has to be an advanced model to fit so many The smell of 1,000 cigarettes. Some close the rusty old lorry door. Your job here.
Lowman, you caught me at an op.
Ну или как-то так. Не очень красиво, но как вышло.
Whoa. What have we? A bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind. Guess so. Just be careful out there.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Yes, my eyes on the harbor have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? It doesn't really matter, and I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely. That would give them a read on the entire quarter.
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation. Ah, good to hear. I wouldn't want to pry into a confidential police matter, but in the event you'd like to share more, I would like to know who it was. Clever. Few suspect a woman in this sort of skullduggery. Good move on their part. A runaway. Good work. This is a tangible lead towards solving the whole mystery. We contain multitudes, do we not? It might not be pertinent to her profession, but who knows? It may help you find her yet. That speaks of the vastness and sophistication of the operation. Were you able to examine the radio? Taking it out of commission will deal a blow to the smuggling network. Excellent work. High-intensity microwave frequencies. They're used for navigational purposes, to compress the inter-eastlery space. They may use it to communicate...
As the shipments approach Revachol? Somehow you suspect something more sinister.
First-rate find. That should tell you all you need to know about their network, I would imagine. So this goes beyond Jamrock. At least you now understand the gravity of the situation, and those maps should prove very valuable indeed. I appreciate you placing your trust in me. Thank you again for looking into this matter. You have my gratitude. Now, per our original agreement, it's time for me to share company secrets with you. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands. Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Revachol West. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it They were dispatched after I relayed the Union's initial offer. A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric, or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor. Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering. Cronell, an Oronese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, Our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment. The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to... He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders. For now, it's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded...
Investigation upon investigation here in Martinez, racing towards some dark deadline.
It was the Union who strung him from that tree. My hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before Crenell indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond. Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Detective? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's second largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees.
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons. Even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1 or 2 shots. The automatics every 1 or 2.
As I said, a bloodbath.
Да.
Many bleak scenarios have already come true. Nameless, badgeless detective of the Citizens Militia. All we can do is keep the rest from following suit. One single, concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
Охуеть.
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities. Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though. Ah, yes, your condition. The International Collaborative Police maintains a database for these sorts of things. Perhaps you should consult it. It was just a suggestion. I have, and they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us. Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it. The remaining contractors, their tribunal. It's what they believe, that the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez. Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him. That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe. If you mean did I see him alive, yes. But I did not know Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one. One is a man, Corty, they call him, a nickname as well. The other a woman, Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
Нихуя себе.
He was 40 or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age or gauge his facial. He was Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his... In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once. They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting. You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbor gates.
Ну,
The
понятно.
one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise.
Ну, это понятно.
The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
Старушка, что ли?
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
The situation at the gates is a powder keg. She says she wants to avert catastrophe, but that's where she draws the line. I call bullshit.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible. I hope I can answer it better. Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience. I'm not trying to reassure you, officer. Quite the opposite, in fact. It's a matter of days, not weeks.
Охуенчик.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask. Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute, in silence. Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent. Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels. The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it. Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started then he made his way to the Preto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Preto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulindic.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning. His platoon members? The other contractors, though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
Ха-ха, охуенный план.
I am relieved you think so. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Ну, блядь, прям дохуя. А, уже 8 часов. Скоро петух появится. Так, а что у меня еще есть? С чуваком, конечно, зря поссорился, но можно было просто скрыть замок грузовика. Чуть грубой силы, мать его. Что, зря качал, что ли? Чуть-чуть. Оф. Не знаю, что мне еще понадобится.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Так. Еще вопрос открытый по бабулу. По тетеньке как туда попасть. Попасть туда можно только с помощью вот этих хуйни, которая у меня с вероятностью 80% послала нахуй. Да? До сих пор заблокировано, да?
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, eternite.
Восприятие. Которое под 5. Ладно, куний.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Эмпатия, ну да, блядь.
Kuno doesn't.
Куна, то, блядь, мне тоже куна похуй. Так. Ну, можно, конечно, с пацанами тут пообщаться. Первый лысый. А это что за...
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
А, точно, блядь, я могу узнать больше кредитов, блядь. Я это что, не прочитал? А, точно, я эту всю хуйню, блядь.
Of course, dear. Is there a particular cryptid that you're interested? I'm glad you like them.
Нет, прочитал. Слава богу, это мы поделились.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. It's not strange, it's inconvenient. Who told you that? Fine, yeah, it looked like someone... If you do find out who cut the line, though, let me know, so I can forward them the repair bill. Yes?
The man ponders his...
Ладно. 100 дверей, я все равно ничего не сделаю.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 kilos. That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the deal...
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course. Boo fucking who. People will always be taking.
Yeah, that's what the labor movement is all about. Clean?
Theoretically, of course. We're just talking politics here. My answer to your drug accusation is, how dare you? Go fuck yourself. My answer is, fuck off. Mind your own business. There is no eighth Hardy.
And here we go. Back to the usual.
I know! Fatty walked on all fours. He's so fucking fat he left 2 sets of footprints. Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all fours. Anything else you need to know?
Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Crenell.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
Let them come. The Hardy boys are right fucking here.
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed. We got the whole district behind us.
Yeah. A well-oiled murder machine.
We got weapons of our own. We got Ister 50s, Zeelagers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home. I guess we're gonna see.
That was an unsure phrasing.
Yeah, like you've been up against ceramic armor. You haven't even seen the whole suit, right? I've seen the whole fucking thing, and it didn't make him immortal. So are the local gangs. The fucking Barmy Army. And the Madre.
Yeah. Where are they now, huh? Sent back to Madre in an airtight cargo crate.
Big fucking surprise. They hire psycho scum, arm them to the teeth, and let them loose in the city. What do you think is gonna happen?
Похуй.
The fuck is that
Я так и
supposed
думал,
to
что...
mean?
We're not bees. We're men. We're socialists.
Easy, E. He's trying to phase you. What are you trying to do? Scare my men? What do you mean, okay?
Блять.
No, they won't. Get out of here with your negative energy. No wonder you cops get shot to shit every day. Can't go to war with an attitude like that.
Хуя, шансы. Шансы все равно высокие. Показать Титу авторитет, блять, ну такой себе, нахуя. Чтобы что. Конечно, авторитет не моя сильная сторона вообще ни разу. Даже рядом нет. Даже рядом нет. У меня нет того, что увеличивает авторитет. Только то, что его уменьшает. И тем не менее, авторитета мне недостаточно. Несмотря на все плюсики.
It's you again. What is it?
Да. Это во мне это. И я чувствую, блядь, начнется какой-то пиздос. Минус 12, еще не время.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Ясно. Больше мне ничего не скажешь. Авторитет не поднять нечем. С кем бы попиздеть, кроме наемников? Ну, этого пацана, конечно, жаль. Китайсь. Есть авторитет?
Everything still cool here, officer.
Нет. Так, думай, башка. Ну, просто посмотреть заметки. Машина уехала, рация уехала. Понятно.
Looking for something?
Looking for something.
Is this about the question? A warehouse? I don't know.
She looks up from under her brow.
Fine. For it doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
Да пиздец, блять.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Я пизды получу по всему телу, да?
Things are busy enough. You're going to waste less of my time?
The hulking man oozes stark skepticism.
Охуеть.
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you?
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Чудно.
The file cabinet stands steady as ever. The drawer slides shut. The already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you as you pick up the handset.
Чуть бутылку не подобрал. Как так-то?
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. A thin grey pillow is attached to the seat, secured to the stiles by black ribbons. The drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and receipts. One small box, however, does hold some cheap painkillers. They are slightly out of date. Oh boy, where to start? Elevated risk of dementia, mini strokes, prophet's disease, sudden death, hair death, erectile malfunction, critical flatulence. Maybe this was a bad idea. You take the painkillers. They are yours now. You stand and exit the booth.
Заебись. Как спиздить энергетики, блядь, спрашивайте нам. Приходишь, садишься в чужую будку, опа, она. И пиздишь. Вот и все. Так это работает. Чуть есть.
A rusting control panel.
Понятно. Общаться с боссом, конечно, интересно.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not... The container door appears unmoved by your attempt at flattery.
Сука. Блять.
The door does not respond
не
to your
прикинь.
advances. Is it possible that it seems somehow more closed than before?
Риторика. Ай, блять, подождите. Есть что-то, что увеличивает риторику. Уменьшает. Нету. Это что, контейнер можно уговорить, что ли, блядь? Вы чё, блядь, на полном серьезе эту хуйню протягиваете?
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment. No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying goes, wisdom withers if not shared. and old Leo is always...
Ладно, я понял.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny Fat Guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this? You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what? I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me. So do what you want, and...
He's hiding his real reaction beneath courtesy.
Ah, yes, your side investigation. Thank you. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the...
Actually, Revachol doesn't have a mayor. He refuses to discuss it further. It's probably just a small nuisance to him.
Понятно. До свидули. В принципе, если их разъебут наемники, я жалеть не стану. Правда, наемники тут тоже ебнутые, блядь. Один бодрее другого. Да, еб... Тихо. Не сметь ничего прокачивать без моего вопроса. Блядь, спустись ты вниз. Так. Ну, значит, ловить нехуй. Время к 9 подходит. Все заблокировано. Неудачными попытками. То чувство, когда ни время, ни место. К этому типу, блядь, подходить. Точнее, подсказывает, что он раз... меня как говно. Затрахать старушку. Тетеньку с книжками. Продать... Да, продать платок Кицураги, блядь, и купить книжку про какаду и выполнить миссию про какаду. Опа, это что за хуйня? Давай речь, а? Шевели ножками. Что бы это ни значило, да?
Hello, hello. Let me know if I...
Да, блять. Да. Хуй с ним.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with... Sure. Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Пустая катушка. Я не знаю. Потом-то ее можно будет выкупить. Наверное, можно его будет выкупить. Или нет. Или да. Блять, все это, по идее, нужные вещи. Только одежда.
I'm not purchasing any more clothing at another time, perhaps.
Кому можно было бы загнать одежду, другой вопрос. Некоторая одежда прям, в принципе, не столь нужна. Сомневаюсь, что тут покупка одежды подниматься китайцев. Да?
Everything's still cool here, officer. Me?
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samoan.
Very cool. You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes, keep saving that economy. Shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guarantee.
Abort. These are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face.
Damn, officer. You look like a mega secret spy. Very...
It's going to be very difficult for anyone to take you seriously with these things on your face. The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers triumph over them. They're the star of the show here.
У меня еще есть магнитофон, который тоже здесь нахуй взял. Блять, знать бы смысл собственных действий, да? Здесь тоже наверняка все забито, да?
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Заблокировано.
Silence. Silence. Nothing happens. Silence. No, this button looks new.
Слушай, ты осталась одна, родная.
The woman before.
Тебя я тоже заебал.
Hi, Ace Detective.
A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out the book title, From A to Zurich, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo.
Короче, сделаю то, что не хочу, но предварительно сохранюсь. Не люблю так делать.
A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird, you wait for the storekeeper to be distracted. When she's not looking, you haul the tow. It's quite a challenge, but eventually, the guide to the cockatoos is yours. Splendid effort.
Arrivederci.
A cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest, found on the Seminine Islands and in southern Fas a la Mer. Known for their intelligence and general precociousness, cockatoos are popular birds. This book talks about the delicate nature of twos, as well as introducing some of the most popular species among the bird enthusiasts. The funeral cockatoo, the major... Where to even begin? All cockatoos are known for their needy natures, requiring attention for at least 2 full hours a day. They love to talk, and have been described as lovable clowns who just don't know how to wrap up. Pet owners also report moodiness, loudness, and hostility as recurring issues. If left unsatisfied, cockatoos may scream non-stop, pluck their feathers. It is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them food every day and give them the full care that they need. These birds will never understand that you have a life of your own.
Ну да.
You're right. Cockatoos are magnificent creatures. They love to perform, cuddle and show off, and will even scream for fun.
Охуеть.
Ouch. That must hurt. Not great for the neighbors. This is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name, Psittacus venereus, relates to its dark and somber plumage. This bird looks as if dressed for a funeral, 24/7. There is something indisputably ominous about it. Perhaps the most impressive of all the species, the endangered major majestic cockatoo, is often described as the most flamboyant. In the words of poet-explorer Sir James Fournier, few birds more enliven the monotonous hues of the verdant forest. It must be glorious to behold, dark pink and snow white. Despite its banging name, the Bang Bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species, common in almost all Seminoles forests, as well as zoos and homes all over the world. Its plumage is mainly grey and white. The Seminoles name Bang Bang is thought to be of onomatopoeic origins. Yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you?
Попка мудак. Реальный я? Или тот, который бегает всех вопросами заебывает?
You're right. You're the mediocrity embodied. This unsung bird belongs on your heraldry.
Excuse me? I don't know. The most talkative one? The what now? You truly are one strange cop, aren't you?
The woman before you nods.
Чудно. Заебись. Охуенчик. Что дальше? Сам обычный тук-тук какаду спиздил, блядь, книжку про какаду, когда его сравнили с какаду, прочитал эту книжку и выбрал, блядь. Это не обычный какаду на самом деле. Это ёбнутый какаду. Это нищий какаду, блядь, 2.52, блядь. Да. А, 9 часов, блядь. Чё я туплю? Бегом, 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 бегом. Мистер Кицураги мне не поможет.
Gendarmerie. You found me.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds.
It was mine. My friends use it from time to time to visit me. So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
Снова все наладить в кавычках.
Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting. Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special, isn't it? Trust me, you do. That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not...
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting downstairs. A cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the book.
Besides, I've got to run.
Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
To the city. It's a beautiful night. We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, all right?
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Хуй пойми. Странный чел, да пиздец. Пидоры, что ли? Простите, геи. Хуя себе, блядь. И из них все, что не приколочено. Хуя вы ёбнутые, блядь. Ну ладно.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
Ай, блядь. Надо курнуть. Хотя нет. Надо закончить этот диалог и заканчивать.
His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stability on assignment from Sur-la-Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here.
Hanging? What a drag. He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the finer things.
Oh yes, my friend has a great eye for these things. He refuses to tell me where it came from. It's a mystery. I believe they call this type of frame index. That's really all I can tell you about it. I'm sorry to say I did, officer. Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play. No. I mean, it was so strange. I could barely believe what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood I should not be seeing this. I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities. I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
Sound familiar? That matches the prints you observed at the scene.
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human. As far as I went back inside. Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man. All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clear.
That doesn't quite comport with what you know. Don't forget the lady driver.
It's possible, officer, but I cannot say with certainty. It was very dark, you must remember. All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
That doesn't quite comport with what you know. Don't forget the...
It's possible, officer, but I cannot say with certain. I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent. Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching. Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything. You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add. All I can say is that it was late. No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day. Of course, anything I can do to assist the RCM. The Coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight. Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here. La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the Coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the 80s, the most important thing. It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity. which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability. Take your daily bread, par exemple. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%.
Блять, ну я...
But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%. The coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet? A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral interne. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency. It's the International Organization for Moralists, hence Moralist International. The Institute of Price, but of course. Well, do you value freedom? Do you believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values? The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, sur la clé, Martinez? No. Martinez is something else. Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking. Is this option D usually the most reasonable answer? Not boring, my friend. Responsible. Moralism is all about compromise and achieving the achievable. It's pragmatic, realistic, and level-headed. An ideology for doers. Are you a doer, my friend? Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings.
Darling? That can't be an official designation.
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sur-la-Clé's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur-la-Clé, Oranje is probably the most prominent member of the international community. As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Orange carries a lot of political weight, while Sur-la-Clé takes care of the business side of things. Sur-la-Clé hosts the headquarters of the major EPI. Orange's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services, and generally acts as an engine for...
But that didn't tell you anything about Oranje.
About what? Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Like I said, they are an example for less emerged nations to follow. Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stability.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the moral intern is joking or not.
Whatever you wish, officer. Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters. Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue. That it's never going to happen. They enter negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since. EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far as the eye can.
God, yes. Sweet standardization. The backbone of rationality and commerce.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moral Intern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level. Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern as a whole. It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next level. A supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident. You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy. It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Охуеть.
Except that candidate members never become full members, do they?
No, candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. But we were talking about my friend here, not politics. How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Peninsula? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in. Au contraire, it's how millions of people end up where they are, meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend too. Sorry, who? But I told you, officer, he's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization. Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation. He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
As though you weren't envious enough of the boy as is.
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design? Printmaking? Who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him. I'm just enjoying the view. We're old friends. Nothing's taboo between us. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's very active. I'm all ears, officer. A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave. It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Of course. I'm glad I could help.
Чудесная хуйня. Ладно. Насобирал всякой хуерки. Если я в таком буду ходить. Меня убьют. Чрезвычайно логично. А он поверху, что ли? Драма, электрохимия, ебать. Ну-ка, нарядимся. Ебать. Я понял все. Да. Ой-ой-ой. Ой-ой-ой. И срочно нужно что-то вкачать. Так. Восприятие разочек. А, даже не разочек. Допустим. Похуй. Все, спасибо всем. Вроде бы что-то сделал и ничего, и в тупик не улетел. Даже до 9 какой-то пиздежнёй позанимался.